Well, welcome to Southbridge Business Partnership, our partners meeting, and glad to have you guys all here tonight. Again, some of the things that have come out during our strategic planning is that we're looking forward to presenting at every one of these meetings something to the business owners. The idea is to help you grow your business and at the same time trying to grow the economic activities here in Southbridge. I'm going to apologize. I don't know, it's dry throat today, but anyways. So today we have Discover Central Mass coming in to do a presentation about their program and all. It is an advertising program, but it's something that the business partnership is going to look at. I know the Wellsworth Hotel is actually part of it. And I don't know if there's any other members in Southbridge at this point. There are, so I can see Tim's nodding his head up there. So there are some other people that are part of the Discover Central Mass program. So, and it's an advertising program that's sponsored by the state, funded partially by the state, and then the other part of the funding is actually from fundraising that they do. So again, it's not a completely free program. It's a little bit of a expense attached to it. I was talking to some of the board members and saying, again, at the end of last year's Autumn Fest, that we needed to do something to promote the Autumn Fest to a bigger crowd, a wider area of advertising. And I think this is probably the avenue that we're going to use at this point. I do know they cover all of New England and a big job out in New York. They do a lot of direct mail pieces, and they have an ad book that's up on the counter on your way out. You're glad to grab one for yourself, take a look. And again, the whole idea here is to promote Southbridge and our businesses within the town. I do also have 2 door prizes, a bucket from Hyde, and then I've got a gift certificate from Big Bunny. So a couple things for local to keep you busy either at home or help fill the refrigerator at home too. So anyways, at this point I'd like to introduce Tim Power and Discover Central Mass program.
Well, thank you for inviting us today. We really appreciate it. Everyone in the room already knows Tim, I believe. He is a local, raised here, so super excited to have Tim here with me today. I'm Monique Joseph. I am the president of Discover Central Mass, and we really appreciate the opportunity to just kind of tell you a little bit very quickly who we are and what we do. We do work with some members in the room, so if there's any stories or anything you want to share about your time with us, we'd love to have the recommendation just to share your story. So, but with that, we're going to go super fast so we don't keep you guys longer than you want to be here. So, okay, so as you can see, we're Discover Central Mass. So the goal of Central Mass, we're all about driving economic impact to the region through visitation and tourism. Our mission is the mission of Discover Central Massachusetts is to market Central Mass as a competitive destination for travel and tourism, which includes meetings, conventions, events, sporting events, group tours, day travelers, leisure travelers, anything that you would consider to be a visitor to the area is who we market to. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about who we are and why we're here. So Discover Central Mass is actually one of 16 regional tourism bureaus in the state of Massachusetts. Our mothership is the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. And each year, our organization is funded through a grant. We actually represent 35 cities and towns in central Massachusetts. So our agency is the team that is put in charge of Southbridge and all the surrounding towns around you in order to help you to drive the economics of your town through tourism and visitation. So we're funded through three main buckets. I think it's really important to kind of just quickly go through these so you understand, why there's a little bit of money attached to our program. The Mass Office of Travel and Tourism, like I said, there's 16 of us. We are each driven through a grant. So we have to report all of our results back to the state. They know everything that we do. The second bucket is the city of Worcester. Obviously, Worcester is the largest city in our region, and they choose to fund us. So they actually fund us $500,000 each year to provide marketing materials for them to help drive their numbers. We provide the website. So if you go onto our website, you definitely see a strong Worcester presence, but it is the main draw for the region. You see a strong Sturbridge presence. And what Tim and I are doing is we're going through to all the cities and towns because we want everybody to have a presence. And then the last bucket is through private funds. So the state of Massachusetts says, we're going to give you this grant. However, we expect you to work with your small businesses and your towns and your cities and match the money that we give you. So the city the state gives us, they don't give us $500,000, just shy of that, but we actually each year have to raise that in private funds. So how do we do that? We have advertising campaigns, we have visitor guide ads. Everything that we do at a very discounted price because we know that you're all small businesses. So we would never go to you and say, hey, we want this huge bucket of money. But what we do is say take out an ad for maybe $20,000, and for maybe $250, you can have a piece in that ad. Or if you go, oh my God, that's really a market that I want to be in, and you want a bigger piece of that ad, we can sell you a bigger piece of that ad. So we work on several different campaigns. There are way too many to go into. We do have a couple that we have in our, in our presentation that I'll talk with you about. We wanted to give you just some samples of other tourism bureaus so you could get a feel for who we are and what we do. Like Western Mass, that's the Springfield Tourism Bureau. They represent half of Western Mass. Visit Portland, they do the same thing as we do. North of Boston, they're one of the 16 in Massachusetts. So our agency is not, different. It's the same. All states want to, you got to be competitive, right? So the definition of a visitor is somebody that's traveling to your region from 50 miles and out. We target those people because we want them to take their ancillary dollars and spend them in your businesses. We don't want them to say somebody's in Hartford and they say, hey, listen, we're going to go see a show, grab dinner, maybe stay overnight. Well, we want them to come out this way. We don't want them to go to Springfield. We don't want them to go to Providence. We want them to come here. But they need to know what's here. They need to have marketing materials available. They want it at their fingertips, and that's where we come in. So we are competing with different locations to try and make sure that we're driving the messages home. A lot of times you'll see all those great ads from like New York City or California where there are catchy tunes and whatnot. That's all done by a regional tourism bureau. So we're just a smaller version of that because here it's the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism, and we're just kind of one of their stepchildren. Okay, so I can talk a lot about tourism, but I know that a lot of people are going to say, it's not here, it doesn't matter, that's not who we are, we're not a big city, we're not a beach, and that's just so not true. And so I love to show stats like this because this tells the story. So we work closely with Mont, again, the Office of Travel and Tourism, because we're very we're very driven on numbers and the economics of tourism, and we do a ton of tracking. So this right here will show you in Central Mass in calendar year 2022, the state is still putting together the numbers for 2023, or I would show you those. But domestic spending alone that is driven by tourism or a visitor, which again is somebody who's 50 miles and out, spent in local taxes $20 million in central Massachusetts, state taxes almost $44 million. It creates 4,750 jobs tied directly back to tourism. The hotel that you're in right now, these jobs are calculated in these numbers. The library is calculated in these numbers. The restaurants are calculated in these numbers. Payroll, $184 million in payroll taxes, and the spend, $732 million in domestic spending. You can see our numbers. We do statewide as well. International, that's driven here also, 205 jobs, associated back with tourism, a total of 4,955 jobs that can be driven to our region that are supported through tourism and visitation. So this gives you a quick snapshot of through the years. Cumulatively, 2019 tourism in the state of Massachusetts and in central Massachusetts was just going crazy. These are central Massachusetts numbers. As you can see, we're at $567 million in 2019. 2020 hit, it was COVID, that number really fell. We're driving back up. 2021, we started to come back. 2022, the numbers are amazing, $732 million driven by tourism and visitation, totaling $2.3 billion, and that's not including the 2023 numbers because we don't have them yet. But I can tell you that the numbers are going up and up and up. If you talk to this hotel in particular, they'll tell you about their occupancy rates and how great that they're doing. Again, that's tourism and visitation, which is driving these numbers. So we can go all the way through here. I always love to point out the employment. 4.7 thousand jobs are associated with tourism. And again, your restaurants, your hotels. There's actually a study that the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism did. I don't have it with me. They did it a few years ago, but it shows the trickle-down effect from tourism. So somebody comes here, they're here in the hotel, they're for a business meeting, they drop a coffee on their suit. Well, they need to go to their meetings all day. They're going to go use your local dry cleaner. Somebody comes in with their pet and they're at meetings all day. They might put their pet in the pet hotel down the road, or they come in and they want to get their nails done or their hair done or a pedicure, right? Whatever you need to get done, those numbers are calculated through tourism, and it's all calculated actually through credit card receipts from people 50 miles and out. So it's not just general numbers. It's very, very specific and very targeted, and it's just a huge draw. So when you stop and you say, okay, we're in Southbridge, what does that all mean? Well, that means meetings that are coming here, they trickle out. If you have, say you have a sewing association, well, they don't just stay here. They definitely spend time here, but at nights or when their programs aren't going on, they're out on your streets, they're going into your restaurants, and they need to know that you're here. And that's a big part of what we do is awareness to the local visitors. Visitor guides, we have those to all of our hotels. We have our websites. If they're coming here and they've never been to your area, they need to have an easy way to find out who you are and why they want to go and visit you. So some of our core services, we, as I said, we market a lot to meetings and conventions. Excuse me, and the reason that we do that is we want those conventioneers. We want the people that are coming in with a sports tournament. We want them to stay in this hotel. We want them to use your stores. So we spend a lot of time and we put a lot of money behind going to events to actually talk about the hotels in our region and to the sporting facilities and to drive people here. So we're putting out right now a new event planner guide that you see up there. We do walking maps. We work a lot to try and get the college kids that are all in Worcester. There are so many hotels or colleges in Worcester. We want their friends and family to come and explore central Massachusetts. We don't want them to just stay in Worcester. We want them to fly in on our airports, take the train in. We want them to use our highways. We want them to stop and gas up at in our gas stations, because we're trying to drive economic impact and tax dollars and tax generation through several different ways. So like I said, a big market that we go after is meeting planners, the college students, their families, and we do that through our visitor guide. You can see our website. We have visit widgets on our website. What that means is if you're a historian and you want to, you're coming in, you can actually go onto a visit widget and go, show me all the museums that are in the region, and we'll map it out for you. We'll show you where to go, where the restaurants are on the way to go to that. how long it's going to take you to get from step A to step B. Pretty much we try and make it as user-friendly and easy for you to know everything that's happening around you. We do our visitor guide twice a year. That's with the sled right there. And then we really try and focus on making sure that we are reaching out and showing the unique and diverse assets that we have here. And we market to all sorts of different groups. Pretty much every type of group we can find, we try to market to them. And then this is just, Tim, do you want to come over and talk about some advocating work that we do? Because I think I did all your slides.
Oh, no, not yet. I'm not even here yet.
Oh, you're not here yet?
No. Yeah, so this is, as you can see, we are out and about in the community as much as possible. Just, again, being present. Actually, Samuel Slater Museum is right down here. We have the Worcester Airport. And again, our goal is to make sure we're out and about in our local community, as well as promoting, what's going on, what's going on in Central Massachusetts. We're promoting what's going on in Central Massachusetts, as well as connecting with our local community and making sure we know what's going on so that we can promote that and we can reach out and really reach these audiences. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the impact of one event in the region. So we've had the NCAA ice hockey tournament come to the DCU Center. We worked in partnership with the DCU Center, Holy Cross. We helped book their hotel rooms. We helped bring them to our different restaurants and attractions, and then we help promote the event through our different materials as well to, again, share what is going on in Central Massachusetts to all these unique visitors. So we can keep going on this. Right here, you can actually see the economic impact of this singular event at the DCU Center. And this is, a larger scale event. But when we bring in small events to, smaller communities or different stuff to different communities, this is just a really good example of what's going on. We had over $1 million for business sales direct. You know what I mean? So this one event, $1 million into the community. We had room nights on demand. We had over 1,000 room nights on demand, right? So one event brings in a lot of people into the local community. So that's really what we're doing here. Next thing we're going to talk a little bit more about is, trade shows. So one thing that we're doing that you definitely won't see us, we're not promoting this, is we're going all over the place, going to LA, to Worcester, promoting Central Massachusetts as a destination for our events, for, sporting events, for everything in between. So as you can see, we've been to conferences like the Teams Conference, we've been to the RV and Camp Show, Discover New England, all these different places, shouting to the hills, come to Discover Central Mass. We'll actually go a little bit more into an example of one of the trade shows we went to as well. So this is the American Bus Association. This took place in Nashville, and we met with 54 different meeting planners at this event. And so basically what they do is they bring their buses, to different destinations, and they want to plan these itineraries with, a lot of it was, retired people, but sometimes they're college students and whatnot as well. And so they bring their bus to, OSV, they stay at the Southbridge Hotel, and then they might go to somewhere in Worcester, and then they go to Boston, and they make these cool itineraries. So we were just pitching Central Massachusetts to, these bus tour operators and saying why this is a destination and why you need to bring your bus tour through here. And so, we talked a little bit about the trade show aspect of it. Now we're actually going to talk a little bit more about the marketing campaigns. As you can see, there are some beautiful marketing campaigns. I don't do any of the marketing campaigns. I can't make it look that pretty. Our marketing team does a great job with that. But as you can see, these go all over the place. We have SkyNav, which is a tool for event planners. We have Expedia right there. So if you're booking hotels and flights, Expedia is a great tool. We're marketing all over the place. So next slide, we can keep going on this. So this is actually our website, and these are some of our numbers. So last year we had over 300,000 users that use our site, and our top pages was our homepage, our events calendar, and our attractions, because people want to know where to go and what to do while they are here. Our newsletter, it's actually gone up significantly. We're actually at 29,000 people on our email newsletter as well. We have 23,000 people on Instagram. We're just yelling to the hills what to do in Central Massachusetts. That's what we're doing. We're yelling to people and saying, please come here, come support our businesses. As you can see right here, we actually have some examples of some of our print ads. We're advertising in these cool publications, Edible Boston, New York Family Magazine, Yankee Magazine, right? These big time magazines that, as a small business, you might not be able to do this by yourself, but sometimes we choose our different members and select them. And sometimes we actually give opportunities like Monique was talking about, how, for $300 you can be put into one of these ads that we're talking about, a very unique opportunity. So we're really, pushing our members. So we can keep on moving. This is actually another example of one of our press and media coverage campaigns, all right? Our total media impressions for this campaign was 26 million. So just think about that. It went in all these outlets: Central Mass, Moms, Mommy Poppins, New England with Love. And again, we're just pumping Central Mass, and this is one of our outlets doing it. And then we'll keep it moving. And so we want to thank you. And so we just want to share some of these opportunities that, are, available. That that was a great overview of what we do. And so, we have advertising space in our visitor guide that we could do for the town. We have different packages like, adding you guys to our website more, Google and Facebook ads, weekly newsletter features. We have town and city background pages. We have a lot of these unique opportunities that we can do for the, as a whole. We package together and we represent the whole town, or as if you have your own business, you can do this, in a singular basis as well. So, Monique, you like to say anything else?
Yeah, just one of the things is if we don't know that you're here, because we represent so many cities and towns, it's difficult for us to know hey, let's put them in this campaign, or let's make sure that they're in our newsletter, or, oh, this is super cool. Why don't we do this? Or there's a special going on there. So we really come to you too to say, you got to let us know what's going on so we can help to promote you. And we talked about, from the town level, what the town could do with us to try and elevate the town of Sturbridge. And then it's also on an individual level. Southbridge. I'm sorry. 35 cities and towns. It's a lot. But, on an individual level too, we can help to make sure that you get exposure. And at a really, we only charge because we have to raise matching dollars. That's, when COVID hit, they actually took that away from us for a while. So it was nice to be able to kind of just do it on our own. But, we have to do what we do because we want to keep doing this job because it's so important.
Beautiful. All right.
Does anybody have any questions for us? Would you mind coming and telling your experience with us? She had a great
Yeah, no, Deb, come
Deb has
on.
a great story.
Come on down, Deb.
Hi, everyone. I'm Debbie Shiro with the Optical Heritage Museum. And just a couple of success stories, I guess, in the 2 months that we've signed on with the tourism board. One, through networking, we did a podcast with Jordan Rich of WBZ, which was super exciting. That was purely through networking and through Tim's organization. Secondly, we were recently contacted by the Worcester Library about doing a speaker series on education on various subjects related to the museum. So that, I believe, came through, again, this organization and through your website. So in that brief time, we've already seen some great success, and we hope it will continue. I hope with this collective group, maybe there's an opportunity to do a bigger ad together where we can sell Southbridge collectively, not just an individual organization. That's it.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Deb. Very good. Any other questions from the group? All right. So at this point, don't walk away. Just stand right there because I'm going to have you. So we got 2 door prizes here tonight, and I've got everybody's name in here. So if we can pull one out. And we have Ellis Cropper. All right. So Ellis, you have the choice of a home repair bucket or a gift card from Big Bunnies.
I spent a lot of time at Big Bunny.
All right. Oh, yeah, one more. Pick one. Bridget Streff. All right, Bridget. All right, now you got work to do at home, Bridget. There you go.
I do a home project.
Okay, yep, I know you do. You've told me you have. So, Steve, come on down. You've actually, thanks a lot, Karen. You've done a lot for us here. I think you
you overextend yourself to support the group and everything you do. And
Welcome back to the Wellsworth. Happy to have you with us. I think this is doing most of my speaking for me. It was kind of subliminal when you walked in. You got to see everything that we've got. The new brand, as soon as we finally got this thing off the ground, wanted to welcome the Southbridge Business Partnership back officially under the new name. A lot of people are aware of it. For those of you who don't, I'll give you just a quick, brief understanding of what we were doing. We were the Southbridge Hotel and Conference Center for 23, almost 24 years. We went into COVID the same time the original lease on the building under the Department of Defense ended in November of 2021. And in 2022, we were now fully independent. We had no lease agreement. We didn't have any rent checks coming in from the government either. So we had to understand how to kind of, in a sense, reinvent ourselves. What was the best way to position ourselves in the market? We are a conference center. We're good at that. People come to us from that, but where we lacked a lot of our business possibilities was on the leisure, the transient side of the business. If we don't have a group here, we're very quiet. Like today, you can see the parking lot was empty when you pulled in because we didn't really have any groups going on. We had a couple little meetings today, but we're group dependent, but we need to fill the gaps. So we wanted to figure out how to get more transient leisure business into the building. So we decided to rebrand. The whole rebranding is its own process. Which direction were we going to go? Well, someone said, oh, we should be the Riverview Hotel. And that was the concept, the Riverview Hotel. There's no view of the river. We're next to a river, but there's no view. So we really had to dig deep. We hired an agency that we had 20 different names. We wanted to capitalize the significance of the American Optical Company, the history, the heritage. Everybody in this room probably has a family member of some sort that worked here, knows somebody that did. It has it. So long story short, Wellsworth Hotel is what we came up with. It's a tribute to George Wells. The Wellsworth Crooks was a different line of sunglasses. There was a wellness magazine. There was the Wellsworth store, which was right across the street on North Street. So that's the direction we're going. We launched, and as Discover Central Mass actually said, because I talked to them earlier, our transient business, individual transient, we had a low number, a low benchmark, but we're up 27% so far this year since we've converted. That's a big number. What we hope is that the more business that we bring in, the more it helps the town of Southbridge. We want, again, the dry cleaner, the pet groomer, the nail salon. Who knows what our guests are going to need? More restaurants, Eataly. Someone heard something about that? A little plug up there. But anyways, so we did that. But we wanted to do a little bit more within the building. So the clock tower has been our focus. And I encourage you all to go down. It starts on the lobby level, right next to the front desk. On the first floor, there's we kind of put a history of all the different floods up to the 1955 flood, and there's markers up on the original brick of the clock tower. Just to the right of that, we had the National Historic Register plaque put in there, so it kind of does that. We changed the pictures behind the front desk. There was artwork before. Now there are pictures of what American Optical was. As you check into the front desk, you're like, oh, there's history here. Go up the stairs. There was always the marble staircase, but we've added. Our great partner, Optical Heritage Museum, has helped us dramatically with all of the pictures that we've added. But there was this little cubby hole in the marble staircase that had no purpose and was kind of an eyesore. Please go up there before you leave. The American Optical Heritage Museum has transformed that. It's now a mini museum. It's kind of like a rotating display. They're going to change the different things that are in there. Our guests are eating it up. They think it's the coolest thing ever. Go up to the third floor, up the staircase. We have, we're kind of trying to create, we have two pieces of photography that is from the museum, and we're adding a couple more so that as you go around the staircase and by the fireplace, you'll just kind of get a glimpse of all the different history that was in that part of the building. So we're excited about it. We're happy you're here. We just want you to know about it, spread the word, share what we have to offer, and that's about all I have. So thank you. Appreciate it. It is not open to the public, and there are no plans currently. We are looking at doing some configuration changes. It's a question of staffing. It's our Facebook and social media accounts get hit hard on that question. It's a business decision, and it doesn't economically make sense for us to open that up to the public. And to be honest, our hotel guests are greatly appreciated because they actually have the space for themselves. It's a difficult decision as an operator. We want to support the town as much as we possibly can, but it's on the economic side, it really was never a money, wasn't profitable for us.
They can get a guest pass to the YMCA.
Ah, thank you.
And that's exactly what I say, is that the YMCA is more than welcome to support our cause there and fill the gap.
I'm bringing down Margaret Morrissey from the Southbridge Library, and she's got an announcement concerning changes or things that they're looking to do at the
You
library.
know, in case you don't already know, the library has a plan to build a chess park, an external chess park on the southeast part of the property. So it would be near where the Tin Man sculpture is. And as of this week, we now have the go-ahead to have fundraising in terms of the support of the town of Southbridge. They will check in on all the finances and provide reporting and stuff like that. So we're ready to make our presentation to the community. The trustees are working on fleshing out a budget, and we will be making our appeal to the community in a very short time. I'm sorry, the light is blinding me up there. Sorry.
Step over this way.
Oh.
You'll get out of the light. There
Thank you.
go.
Oh, well, so much better. So anyway, just to let you know that we are doing this project. It will be something that will be an extension of what is going on in the library, because we already have a chess club at the library. Ben Marinelli has been instigating, has been the instigator of this club, and it has been very successful. And we hope that it will touch a lot of people in the community, because so many people do play chess, and it's a great icebreaker in terms of, you know, people new to the community or people who don't want to have too much interaction but do need some social interaction. It'll be through that. So more to come, but I appreciate the opportunity to address you this evening and to let you know of the plans that we have. So thank you.
So at this point, this is sort of our open mic session, so I don't know if people put their hands up.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for who I've met this evening so far. My name is Kate Oakes. My husband, Robert, are new faces here. We're good friends with Margaret and Gabriel McCarthy and Marcy. And we're here to kind of let you know that we would love to work with the town to kind of create a couple of events that would be sort of rotating through the year that are centered around art making and hosting artisans to sell their wares over, hosted by 12 Crane Street. We did a little tiny holiday market just to kind of get started and kind of like get our feet wet. And we didn't have a ton of time to kind of extend our wishes to all, but now we're here and we'd like to let you know that we're looking to, at the end of June, do a 2-day event, the last weekend of June, that will be hosting artisans from the Southbridge, Massachusetts, Connecticut, sort of northeastern area. We're inviting them in to set up tents in and outdoor on that property and to sell their wares. We're hoping to have involvement from the Dark Horse at 12 Crane to supply some food and drink. And we're just really starting to try to like get some events going on around there that welcome in the community. We did a little bit of outreach with the Art Center when we did the one around the Christmas time, and we'd like to connect with you all about sort of how we could sort of cross-pollinate and have, if you have a shop or something that is open during that time, to kind of be letting each other know that these events are happening, that people are open and ready to go. So that's sort of what we're kind of getting going. I'd be happy to speak with any of you about any ideas or thoughts. We're sort of new to Southbridge in the sense that we're getting to know the community. We have known Margaret and Gabriel for some time. We live over in Pomfret, Connecticut. I'm an educator there and an artist, and my husband Robert does communication for the Rectory School. We just recently relocated in the last couple of years back there. We were in Massachusetts for 20 years over in Western Mass. So if you have any questions or want to know more about what we're thinking, we'd be happy for your input and love to talk about it. So that's who we are. Thanks.
So I'm a town councilor for those who don't know me, but I'm also wearing my Old Sturbridge Village hat and promoting our Women's History Month event this Saturday from 9 to 5. We have a lot of different activities and really thinking and talking about how women in the 1830s, really created a movement in how women did important things, and we have a few different talks, and we have Diva Dance Studio from Northbridge. They will be performing dance and how dance has empowered women throughout the ages. So those are some great activities. We have our AmeriCorps members who will be reading some stories from some students of Prudence Crandall and a book of poetry from her students of color back in the 1830s in Connecticut, where Prudence Crandall opened up a school and allowed students of color, who was very a controversial thing at that time. And she was actually taken to court and harassed. Her students were harassed, and our AmeriCorps members will be reading some of the poetry from the book from the perspective of the students. So please come and join us. It is Kids Free Month, March and April, so bring your kiddos and learn about women's history. I also wanted to share from Southbridge Community Connections, which I'm a part of their steering committee, and we have a few of our members here. We have the Southbridge Family Fun Day coming up on June 22nd. This is really a great event on the town common that provides a lot of food and resources and lots of different things to our community members, and many of our organizations here participate in that event. So we're asking businesses to contribute either in-kind donations for snacks or drinks, or if you have raffle prizes that you want to donate. We have a letter that we're going to circulate. So really helping us, provide all of these different services for our community. It's a great event. Lots of families come out, and it's a great time. So if you'd like to have a booth, we have the contact information for Dolores Toribio. She's in charge of the Southbridge Community Connections group. So come and join us that day. So thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to make a call out to a couple new people that are here. Justin Barub from JB's Painting is stopped in. He's a local business owner in Southbridge and does painting throughout southern Worcester County here. And again, we're trying to get him to join our group, but thanks for coming and learn out a little bit about what's going on here. And then also, I'm going to I don't have your name in the book, but Howie's is part of Savers Bank. And again, he's pushing hard. We're having our meeting next month at the Sturbridge branch of the Savers Bank, which is the one that's just over the border. It's the, for those of us who have been around a while, the old Mechanics Bank branch that was built there. And we're going to have our meeting there in Sturbridge, again, hosted by Savers Bank. So, and that will be the 24th of April. So, anybody else that has anything to talk about?
Well, I know Peg spoke at the last meeting for me about the Junior Entrepreneurship Fair. And I have a author named Michael Connolly who's going to come. He's willing to speak to the youth. He has written a book, Lemons to Lemonade, and it falls in line with everything that I'm trying to get done. But I do need some sponsorships. I have to raise $2,500 in order for him to come. He comes with entertainment. All the kids will get a signed copy of his book. He provides food and refreshments, and it is a family event. Steve offered us this great space where we can host it, and it's going to be for June 1st. Was that confirmed? So we'll be throwing it on June 1st, and then August 3rd will be the actual business fair, which will be down on the Common. The kids will be able to sell their goods, and all the proceeds they get to keep, and I'm hoping you guys will come out and support them.
All right. Thank you very much. It was great. It's not that bad. Yeah.
A few weeks ago, I met with the Worcester County DA, and he really wanted to do something collaborating with financial literacy, and he decided that he wanted to do something in Southbridge, so he's providing a little bit of funding. Right now, we're teaching with the Bridge of Faith on Thursdays, and the public library, the Southbridge Library, currently hosts it. So if you have middle school or high school students not interested, that you know, notice I didn't say not interested, that you know should send them over to start getting some education on financial literacy. So right now it's at the library, and once the Learning Center for the Bridge of Faith Youth Center opens up, it'll be open to everyone. I would tell you, I have at least 1 million future millionaire in that class. Doesn't take much. If we start teaching them young, they can get there. We start teaching them to live on 50% of their income. You know, we know about the 50-30-20 rule, but if we start teaching our kids today to live on 50%, and that way they can max out their 401ks from the time they start working, they will reach millionaire status in 20 years. So you should encourage them to get there. Any kids that you know that are in middle school or high school, encourage them to show up at the library on Thursdays from 3:15 to 4:15.
All right. Anybody else in the room? Well, again, thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate you for hosting this. This is, a wonderful evening, and I hope everybody learned a little bit something. Again, there's some, advertising. I think this is going to be a topic of discussion at the board meeting, SBP board meeting. I think it's something that we should get involved, at least for the Autumn Fest that's coming up. They do that guidebook. Grab some on the way out. That's on the counter up there. They do it twice a year, spring and summer, and then fall and winter. And it falls in line with what we want to do for the Autumn Fest. So the whole idea is to try and bring more people in town and drive business. Steve's got one more thing, I guess.
Almost forgot. My director of sales, Jessica, put together a Wellsworth t-shirt and a nice little water bottle. And the first person that raises their hand to answer this question is the winner. It's very simple. Ready? Got some excited people in here. All right. Every month we change the color in the clock tower. What is the current color? Green. It's you. You win. Why is it green? St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Again, next meeting is April 24th at the Savers Bank in Sturbridge, just over the line. All right? Have a great evening.